Okay, let's get started with setting up our environment. So the first step is checking the Node version and npm version. I'm all set because I already installed latest version of Node, but for latest version of Next.js, you need Node 18.18 or the latest. I recommend install the latest version you've got to date. So let's get started by installing our project. So I give it a name GCS Analyzer, and I go with all the default options I got here. It's going to take some time, so it's going to install all the dependencies, libraries, etc. that Next.js needs by default. And when this is done, we are going to check our local environment, how it looks like. Let's give it some time until it's install all the packages and we get back to this environment. Okay, so the installation is done. I run npm run dev. Sorry, I have to go to the project, and after that, running npm run dev, and this should bring up our local environment. So if I bring the browser here, you should see something similar to this in your environment. So let's take this out. And what we are going to do now is installing Next.js AI SDK now. So stopping the local environment, I'm going to use AI package and AI SDK OpenAI provider package, both provided by Vercel. So we are going to install that. So these are really great wrappers around different providers. So they take care of, add an abstraction, I can say, on top of the APIs, OpenAI, Gemini, and other LLM APIs provide to us. So I installed this as well. So next step for you is going to OpenAI platform, OpenAI API, and get an API key. After you're done with creating your API key, we are going to create that N file here. Let me move that inside the project because I'm not inside the project. So we got an N file. I create OpenAI key and set that to an empty string for now. So the AI SDKs we installed, if we want to use OpenAI provider, they pick up automatically this environment variable keys. You can customize that for sure, but let's use the default environment variable for now. And something else in my environment, I see this is grayed out, meaning that Git is not picking up this .n file. I highly recommend for your production environment, find other solution to manage your secrets. But for our example, we are only using .m file, and let's double check git ignore, and we see it's inside git ignore. So Git is not picking up here, and we are not going to expose this secret in our repo. Cool. So next step now is taking care of the installation of front-end packages. We already installed Tailwind CSS, but the other thing we are going to install is Daisy UI. So Daisy UI is a component library for Tailwind CSS components. So I use that for many projects, really cool, straightforward, and made the implementation really fast. So I'm going to use that for our project as well. How you're going to install that is as simple as running npm install Daisy UI. So let's install that as well. And next step is going to the app global CSS. Let's get rid of everything here and adding only these two here for now. If you want to add more customization CSS, feel free to do that. But I'm going to keep this project front-end wise as simple as possible. So let's do that now. Let's take a look what we have in the layout. Maybe the meta title and description, we can change those. So I'm going to receive a children for this layout that's coming from the page. I say I don't need none of this stuff for now. Let's add a simple div. And what does this div do is, no, I don't need that. Sometimes these auto completions are not what we need. So I want to add some margin Y, maybe 12, and margin X 6. And I want to make this grid with 3 columns and a gap of 4. That's good. So here is where our table and our chatbots goes. So next step is let's create a components folder to add all of our components here. Chatbot.tsx, TypeScript, and other one metrics table.tsx. I already created these files, so they're really simple component client components. So this is going to be a holder for now, a placeholder for our chatbot that has some border, some specific height. So we keep that as is. And for our table, what we are going to use is, if I go to the Daisy UI, look for table, I always liked this table. So let's pick that up. And going back to our metrics, let's create a functional component, make that client component, and drop that here. These are placeholders just to create some look and feel for our project now. So in this page, we are going to import components we created and adding metrics and chatbot here. So if I run again our project, if I get back to my local environment, refresh this page, now we should see different environment here. Oh, I didn't run this, npm run dev. Cool. So this is running. And now let's see how it looks like. It doesn't look bad, but something is off here. Let's see what is that. Did I define here? No. So let's do for the chatbot column span 1. And here, maybe only columns span 2. And see how it looks like. If I go back to perfect. So this is as simple as we want to get for now. Next step, we are going to set up a Google Search Console API, permissions, enabling the Google Search Console API in a GCP project. And after that, we can continue with pulling the data and implement our LLM integration.